I guess.
Yo, it's your boy Mark K. Smith, also known as Akers, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better. This time I have on the menu Draymond Green versus Ron Artest. Who is better? Draymond Green, 3 championships. Ron Artest 1. Draymond Green, 7 seasons played. Ron Artest, 17. Playoffs played. Draymond Green, 6. Ron Artest, 9. All-Star games. Draymond Green, 3. Ron Artest, 1. All NBA teams. Draymond Green, 2. Meta World Peace, sorry. His name is also Meta World Peace. 1. All defensive first team, Draymond Green 3, Ron Artest 2. All defensive first team, Draymond Green 4, Ron Artest 4. Defensive player of the year, Draymond Green 1, Ron Artest 1. Steals leaders, Draymond Green 1, Ron Artest 0. Now, for career stats, Draymond Green has averaged 9.2 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.1 blocks. Ron Artest for his career stats averaged 13.2 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.5 blocks per game. For field goal percentage for his career, Draymond Green is averaging 43 from the field. 3-point percentage, 32% for Draymond Green, 70% from the free throw line. For Ron Artest's career, he averaged 41.4 from the field, 33.9 from the three-point line, 71.5 from the free throw line. That being said, though, who is the better player between the two? Now, I think this is kind of a hard who's better, but also kind of think it's an easy who's better because we know the impact that Draymond Green has with the Golden State Warriors. We know he's a key member of their system, but we also know that Draymond Green can be a little overrated at times. That people overrate his greatness and his impact. I hear a lot of comparisons about he's the next Dennis Rodman. I hear a lot of comparisons about Draymond Green being a future Hall of Famer. And to be honest, we'll get into that later. But if I had to pick between him and Ron Artest, I got to roll with Ron Artest. The dude was strong as heck. He was one of the best defenders and could guard almost any position in the league. In the past 15 years, only Kawhi Leonard and Ron Artest are the only non-center and power forwards to win Defensive Player of the Year. So let that sink in. That should be tell you something. Artest in his prime was not only a great defensive player, but he was a great offensive player, and he also could hit threes as well. Let's not forget, Artest could score 20 points per game. His best season, he scored 24 points per game. And most of those field goals was not being assisted on. He was a mid-range sniper, and he was a great isolation player that can score on his own. He was pivotal in the 2009 championship run with the Los Angeles Lakers, especially on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. Also, Ron Artest was a better defender than Draymond Green. Sure, Draymond could guard more positions on the defensive side of the ball, but it has a lot to do with the lack of great centers in the NBA. But being a lockdown defender, one-on-one, locking your man down, Draymond does not do that at all. Ron Artest was one of the greatest on-ball defenders of all time, and his best years in his early years was the 2000s, and that was his greatest aspect on that team. And then he started to, over time, develop a great offensive game and became this great two-way player as well. He was the only player to win Defensive Player of the Year in that 5-year stretch when Ben Wallace won it 4 times. A lot of people will favor Draymond Green because he's a real defensive anchor, and a wing player as great as Artest was doesn't have the same impact on defense as a big who can be the anchor and you can build around that player on the defensive side of the ball. Draymond Green may be the most versatile defender of all time, but he's just really a good man defender on the perimeter and the post. He's not one of the best ever. His real value is to pick and roll and help defense. So I can understand why some people would think or say that Draymond Green is better than Ron Artest. But to me, the most important thing is being able to lock somebody down, especially a great offensive player, kind of like what Kawhi Leonard does, than just being a great player that does help defense. And Ron Artest, we've seen Ron Artest carry a team and was the number one option. We've seen it with the Houston Rockets. He almost knocked off the Los Angeles Lakers. We haven't seen Draymond do that because he's on the Warriors and he's their 4th option, and we know that he's like a souped-up role player. But let's be honest, Draymond Green being a number one option on a team, your team is probably not even going to make the playoffs. Draymond Green is a system player. He has to be in the right situation to really be, I want to say, as successful as he is right now with the Golden State Warriors. He's in a perfect situation. I don't know if he can go to another situation and be the way he is right now with the Golden State Warriors. Maybe the Boston Celtics, maybe a team that has like really great players around him, but it seems like he needs great players around him to thrive. If we're really being honest about it, Ron Artest has a case for the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best two-way players in the history of the sport. And he really appeared like he was about to make that jump from star to superstardom, but that malice in the palace happened, and we know what happened with the Indiana Pacers and all that. He got suspended, so I'm gonna have it's gonna be a really hard time probably letting Ron Artest into the Hall of Fame. But like I said, with Draymond Green, he's an automatic lock to go to the Hall of Fame just because he's on probably one of the greatest team, probably the greatest team ever assembled. So imagine if Ron Artest was on the 08 to 10 Boston Celtics with Ray Allen, with Kevin Garnett, Ray John Rondo, Paul Pierce. I mean, Jesus Christ, he would be an automatic lock as well to go to the Hall of Fame. So we know that the Hall of Fame is kind of iffy, and Draymond Green is probably going to get in more likely than Ron Artest. But that being said, though, Ron Artest was the better player. Ron Artest was the better defender. Ron Artest was the better two-way player. And Ron Artest was a player that you can build your team around and be the number one option. Draymond Green is not that type of player. So I got to roll with Ron Artest because he's simply just a better overall basketball player than Draymond Green. Now, this is right now. Draymond Green has several years left in the NBA where he can still make an impact and prove on his automatic Hall of Fame bid already, prove on his career. But as we're seeing right now with Draymond, he's starting to slip a little bit, decline a little bit, and he's really not the same Draymond Green. Now, I don't know if that's because of injuries, but he is starting to take a dive, and he's messing up his money. Nobody's going to give him the max contract once his contract is over with the Golden State Warriors, and he will be the best situation for Draymond is to stay with the Golden State Warriors because I feel like if he goes to a different team, he will get exposed as this role player, not this souped up great defender that everybody likes to call him. So this is your boy Mike K. Smith, also known as Akis. Let me know in the comments below who you going with, Ron Artest or Draymond Green. I'm rolling with Ron Artest. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell to stay updated on these videos. Also in the comments below, let me know the next Who's Better video you want me to do because I will do it. It's your boy Mike K. Smith, also known as Akis. I'm gone, man. Peace.